In this video, we will cover the difference between sub-agent and remote agent, and we will try to get that understanding using this particular diagram. So in this diagram, you can see we do have one agent and we are calling this as a local agent. And when we say local agent, we are basically considering that this particular agent is running on our local machine, or maybe it's running on our own infrastructure. So we are calling this as local agent. And this particular agent is owned by team 1. And this agent has been hosted on Azure. The agent has been written using Python and OpenAI SDK, and this particular agent is basically related to product order and shipping related queries, because there are multiple things that this particular agent has to handle. So instead of doing everything on its own, this agent has been divided into two sub agents. So one particular agent is going to be order, and this particular agent is going to handle queries related to order. And then there is a sub-agent 2, which is going to handle the queries related to shipping. So based on whether the query is related to order or shipping, the query would come to the root agent or a product agent. And then based on the nature of the query, it's going to route it to these sub-agents. So sub-agents would be helpful in a scenario where you are handling with a very complex task, and it won't be logical to put each and every logic into a single agent. So it's more like a sub-process that we designed when we deal with any complex task. So instead of writing everything into one particular process, we divide it into multiple sub-processes, and same concept we are following over here. So in this case, what would happen? The sub-agent is also going to share the same memory what is being shared by the root agent. So all the communication and everything is going to happen in memory. And because of that, the latency would be very less. The communication would be very fast. And this sub-agent is also going to share same context, infrastructure, everything what has been shared by this root agent. Now let's look at the right side of the diagram, and this particular agent is kind of similar in nature what we have just covered so far, but the only thing is here we are tagging this as remote agent. So we will cover that, like why we are calling this as a remote agent, but let's first look into this particular agent. So this particular agent is owned by team 2 or a different organization altogether. This particular agent handles query related to finances. Here you can see query is going to come to this particular agent. This particular agent has been divided into two sub-agents, which is going to handle the query related to billing and audit. Also, this particular agent has been written in Java. It has been written using Google ADK framework, and it has been deployed on GCP. So you can see the overall tech stack is totally different than what we have seen so far. If we just focus on the things inside this box, then you can see like it's kind of similar in nature what we have seen over here. We have divided this particular agent into sub-agent so that we can divide the task logically. And because these are the sub-agents, so they are also going to share same memory, latency, context. We are calling this particular agent as a remote agent in reference of this particular local agent because it has been hosted somewhere else. And when this local agent has to communicate with remote agent, it cannot just access this particular agent like it's accessing the sub-agent. It has to communicate to this particular agent over the network, is going to enabled by the A2A protocol. So the only difference would be how we are going to host this particular agent. So if we are hosting this particular agent over the network, then with respect to this particular local agent, this agent is going to be called remote agent. If we compare it with the traditional programming architecture, then it's more like you have one application which has been written in Python and one application which has been written in Java, and now these two applications has to interact with each other. Then the standard protocol for that interaction is going to be API. So similar to this one, if two agents have to communicate with each other, then the standard protocol which comes over here is A2A protocol, which is agent to agent protocol. And when we enable A2A protocol, then one of the agent is going to be remote agent and one of the agent is going to be the local agent. Now we have already covered in detail how to enable A2A protocol, how to write a code using A2A protocol. So I will just put the links in the description if you want to have a look, if you want to just understand from the scratch how to write a code for the same, so that you can create your own agent communicating over A2A protocol. Now, just for this particular video, let's try to understand that using this particular screenshot. So here we have written everything in using Google ADK, and you can see in this particular screenshot, we have created very simple agent. And in this simple agent, it has declared two sub agents. So one is the role agent and one is the prime agent. So from this root agent perspective, your calling nature is not going to get changed, irrespective whether it's a remote agent or whether it's a sub agent. It has to be declared under this sub agent only. So here you can see this particular root agent, which is going to be the orchestrator agent in this case. Everything has been declared as sub agents. Now the only difference is how we are going to access these agents. So when we are talking about the sub agents, then you can see like you can just go ahead and create it just like another LLM agent, and you can just pass it directly in the root agent. But when we look at this prime agent, you can see the difference over here. Instead of just directly invoking it using LLM agent, here actually we have imported certain libraries which is called remote A2A agent, and using this remote A2A agent we are calling this prime agent. And why this approach is required? Because this particular agent has been exposed over the network using A2A. So now if our local agent has to connect with this remote agent, then they have to use this remote A2A agent function, and using this only we can interact with this remote agent. So when we are interacting with any kind of remote agent, then we have to access it through agent card, and the path has been declared over here. As I mentioned, we have covered everything in detail, so I will put the links in description. But I hope this would give you fair idea what's the difference between the sub agent and remote agent and how you can access it. That's all what we have in this video. Thank you for watching.